She said, I wish I could just go ahead and do this now, but I got to wait for Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu to come home. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu comes home, and Khawla was waiting. She tells Abu Bakr that the Prophet, peace be upon him, is here to, or the Prophet, peace be upon him, has agreed to marry your daughter and sent me to convey that. You know what Abu Bakr's first reaction was? Was not, oh, she's young. Was not even that she's engaged. He goes, wait a minute. وَهَلْ تَصْلُحُ لَهُ وَهِيَ بِنْتُ أَخِي? Is she fit to marry him when she is the daughter of his brother? Because Abu Bakr and the Prophet, peace be upon him, were that close. So wait a minute, but he's my brother, right? So that was the first concern that he had, that the closeness of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and Abu Bakr was closer than the closeness of a blood relationship. So Khawla went back to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, أَنْتَ أَخِي فِي الْإِسْلَامِ وَابْنَتُكَ تَحِلُّ لِي, that you are my brother in Islam, not my brother as in a blood brother. So those relationships don't hold when we're talking about marriage. So then Abu Bakr said, well, I'm in an awkward situation because she's already engaged to Jubayr ibn Mut'im. Now, engagement back then was simply a promise to marry, right? There wasn't actually any physical interaction or anything that manifested itself except that she was engaged to Jubayr ibn Mut'im. So Abu Bakr said, I've got to find a way, because Suleiman said that Abu Bakr is never a man that's gone back on his word. So Abu Bakr said, I want to find a way to get her out of that engagement anyway, because, Jubayr ibn Mut'im, and his father are actually hostile to the Prophet, peace be upon him, in this regard. So Abu Bakr went to Mut'im's house, and when he went there, the wife of Mut'im was there, and she said that, if we marry our son to your daughter, then she's going to divert him away from his beliefs and introduce him into that religion of yours. So before Abu Bakr could even say a word, the wife of Mut'im expressed objection and said, well, if Aisha goes through with this marriage with Jubayr, then things, he might become a Muslim. And we'd hate for that to happen. We'd hate for him to become a Muslim. So Abu Bakr said, Abu Bakr turned to Mut'im and said, what is it that she's saying? And he says, she says something that I can hear and I can agree with. Meaning, I agree with what my wife is saying about Jubayr marrying Aisha and potentially becoming a Muslim. So Abu Bakr said, well, that's unfortunate, and just kind of gave a few words, and then he left the house and celebrated as soon as he left the house that the engagement was broken between Jubayr and Aisha. May Allah be pleased with him. And Jubayr was a fierce enemy of Islam. He was the owner of Wahshi, who threw the spear at Hamza radiallahu anhu. So subhanAllah, this man was engaged to Aisha and ends up being the one that frees Wahshi, along with Hind, of course, on the condition that she murders the uncle of the Prophet, peace be upon him. So Abu Bakr comes back home, celebrating, praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he says to Khawla, please hurry up and invite Allah's messenger here. Khawla goes to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and invites him to Abu Bakr's house, and that's where the engagement took place. 3 years later, the marriage took place when she reached the age of marriage. Okay? So again, from a societal perspective, there was once again an engagement, and when she reached that one marker, which was known at that time, which was biologically reaching the age of maturity, then she married the Prophet, peace be upon him. And Aisha radiallahu anha described that day when she comes home, and Aisha was a very active girl, which is why the Prophet, peace be upon him, and Aisha radiallahu anha used to foot race. Okay, even as they were married, she was very active. She describes the way that she, when she comes home after playing, and she's called, and she's informed at that time about the engagement, and she sees the Ansari women that are celebrating,